Alright, we are now going to use a storyboard to build an assembly edit. I'm sure some of you are dying to know what an assembly edit is. Well, assembly edit is a sequence in which the order of the clips is correct, but the timing of the edits has yet to be worked out. It's common to build sequences as an assembly edit first, just to make sure the structure works and then adjust the timing later. You can excuse me. You can use storyboard editing to quickly get your clips in the right order. You should have just saved your current project. It's a good practice to do that anytime you've reached a major milestone in the development of your project. And then we're going to open Lesson 5 Desert Sequence. So we're going to click File, Open Project, and Lesson 5 Desert Sequence. That one right there, we're going to open that. You now have two project files open at the same time. You can switch between them if you click Windows and then Projects, and you can see I've actually got something else open because I got interrupted by a tractor. But anyway, double click the desert montage sequence to open it in the timeline. Y'all hear that truck outside my door? Somebody needs a new muffler. Okay, I had to pause it. I think the loud muffler is gone. So make sure that this project, Lesson 5 Desert Sequence, is the active panel, and then click File, Save As, and we're going to put Working at the end of it, and click Save. Double click the Desert Montage sequence. Oh, I'm looking for a picture. Duh. It has music but no visuals. I kept waiting for a picture to pop up, but it's just music down here. And we're going to add some shots using a storyboard edit. The audio track A1 has been locked. You can see this little blue lock right here. You can unlock or you can lock. In this case, we want to keep it locked, which means we can make adjustments to the sequence without risking making changes to the music track. So it's not necessary to pre-arrange clips in the project panel prior to adding them to a sequence. However, it's helpful to quickly give you a sense of the sequence structure. Double click the desert footage bin to open it in a new panel. So double click that. Click the freeform view button at the bottom left corner, and you see there's our freeform view. You can now see the thumbnails. You can set the project panel icon view to arrange clips as a storyboard, but freeform view gives you more freedom. That's why it's called freeform. It's a more flexible way to display clip thumbnails. Double click the desert footage bin name to toggle it to full screen. That's what it should look like. Then right click the background and choose reset to grid, and then name. Everything is in name order now. Drag the thumbnails in the bin to position them in the order in which you want them to appear in the sequence, from left to right and from top to bottom, just like a comic strip or a storyboard. In freeform view, thumbnails can overlap and be arranged loosely. The order in which clips will be selected in the next step is the order that Premiere Pro will add them to a sequence. So try to arrange clips broadly so they are in order left to right, top to bottom. This will make it easier to select them in the correct order in the next step. So you can just drag these, put them in any order that you want, just kind of cattywampus all around. And then if you'll left click with your mouse and drag it over all of them, that's called lassoing them. Double click the desert footage bin name to toggle it back to its original position. drag the clips into the sequence, positioning them on the video track right at the beginning of the timeline above. And so you see down here, everything is still selected. So I can drag them over here and put them in there. Clips are added to the sequence in the order you selected them into the project panel. Freeform view gives great flexibility when reviewing and arranging clips, ready to add them to a sequence. But icon view offers an even faster workflow. You are going to love what I'm about to tell you. You ready? Press Command Z or Control Z to undo what we just did. I know that bothers you. It would bother me too. It bothers me that I had to show you that. But it just showed you how to use the freeform view. So, double click the desert footage. I'm having a hard time today. But I'm not going to redo this because I don't feel like it. Double click the desert footage bin name to toggle it to full screen again. And click the icon view button to switch to that view. So icon view is down here on the bottom left. Drag the clip thumbnails into the order you'd like them to appear in the sequence. In this view, the thumbnails always stay in an ordered grid. You noticed before that things they just kind of went all cattywampus and crazy and stuff. Well, in this case, if I can get one to drag, you see everything stays ordered. It doesn't get things were all jumbled up. And so when you do this, dragging them, everything is neat and organized. So drag some clips around, get them to see it like you want to. And then double click the desert footage bin name to toggle it back to its original position. Make sure the desert footage bin is selected with a blue outline. You see that there's a blue outline around it. But click the background of the bin to deselect any clips. We don't want any clips selected, which I don't. Now press Command A or Control A, depending on what computer you have. And you see that all of mine have a gray outline around them. Now drag the clips into the sequence, positioning them on the video 1 track right at the beginning of the timeline above the music clip. So I'm going to drag them over to here. Premiere Pro adds the clips to the sequence in the order you originally selected them in the project panel. Because you selected the clips in one step by selecting them all, the selection order is based on the thumbnail placement in the bin. Position the timeline panel playhead at the beginning of the sequence. Play your sequence to see the result. So I'm going to press the space bar. It's a little windy. So watch yours. Although you can choose in order for the clips to play in the bin, remember you're always free to change the order or the timing of the clips in the sequence. Now that you have 2 projects open at the same time, it may not be clear which project you are working on. If in doubt, look at the project file location. Displayed at the top of the Premiere Pro interface. Right in here. An asterisk after a project names indicates changes have been made to that project since it was last saved. I want you to close each project, but what I want you to do first, I want you to export this as an MP4. Export it as an MP4. Like this one's going to be Desert Montage, and then I would click Export right here. You're going to submit that, and then after you export it, I want you to click File and then Save, and you're also going to submit the Desert Sequence Working Project. So you're going to have 4 things that you're actually going to submit for 1 grade. You'll have, let me make it clear, the Desert Sequence Working. You have an MP4 that you just exported. I want that because I can play it, so I want to be able to see that you've done all these things down here. Then you also have the Premiere profile that you worked on, and then the same thing for the Lesson 5 project. You'll have the Lesson 5 working. You'll have the MP4 for that you've exported, and then the original 4. So 4 things you're submitting for 1 grade. If you're confused, raise your hand and I'll help you. And this completes Lesson 5.